till the sun come up, and that's like 6 or 7. Drinking like we'll never get to heaven. Pray for my homies, but I always give shit to Kevin. Pull up and stun gas pedal, keep the engine revving. My league of gentlemen just turned into a coalition. We love the enemies, the enemy is prohibition. My women love to wear black, I only know the switches. She love the majestic of coach and say it's so delicious. Superstitious, so prison. Even the 4 kids, hocus pocus, go ballistic. Feeling alcoholic and wearing no religions. Bless the homies, we smooth, so you know we ninjas. Going Shinobi, I'm Kobe, you know we switching. Walk in, drink gin on the rocks. Sip, take a swig of my fear to the west. With my crew like we trying to book fish on the docks. I'ma throw out the line, I'm a real and a chick.
Welcome back, baby. Yeah. It's Sunday, March 8th. You're watching One More Round Fights. I'm the host of this here channel. I do this shit it seems, day of the week. You know, Sundays, you got the live chat. Mondays, you got Monday Matchmaker. Tuesdays, TKO Tuesdays. Hump Day, CP Unit Fridays. Watch along Saturdays. I own this combat sports, fight sphere, fight week, all that. I'm the host of this here channel. My name's Gav. You're watching One More Round Fights. Oh, yeah. And this is the live chat post UFC 326. We're talking about Max Holloway, Charles Oliveira. We're talking about RIZIN 52. We're talking about Misfits boxing. We're talking about Zuffa boxing 4 happening later today. We got mad shit to talk about, dog. It is what it is. It's One More Round Fights. If you ain't, and if you don't know, now you know. Subscribe to the channel. We're trying to get to 800, dog. It ain't that far. It ain't that hard. All it takes is you. You, right there. With the fucking laptop, with the phone in your hand, right there. Scan the QR code with your second device and subscribe to the channel. Why are you not subscribed? What are you doing? Your life will get better. The second you subscribe, the second you become a member to this channel, birds start chirping. People that you haven't talked to in years start hitting you up. You start finding $20 bills in your pocket. Shit happens for the better. I'm just telling you, you're missing out. Go ahead, subscribe to that channel. All right, right there. All it takes is one little scan of your phone with your camera. Change your life. Change your life, bro. You could do that today. All right. Also follow on social, One More Round Fights. Follow everywhere. That's where we put out the parlays. It wasn't a great week for us, parlay-wise. Parlay-wise, not a great week for the channel. Literally got offered. Yeah, offer on the channel. But the singles we gave out while we were live, the singles that we took, saved the night left and right. Shout out to my boy Cody Garbrandt. Shout out to my boy Dante Johnson. Shout out to my boy Charlie Oliveira getting the plus 1,000 decision done for us. I mean, we were saved. We were delivered. But yeah, don't forget to follow on social. That's where we put out the parlays. I promise to deliver a green check next week. This was egregious. I bet with my heart this week. I put Max in the parlays. I ignored all the Charles stats. It is what it is, man. Sometimes the stats don't lead to wins, you know? This was a week where the stats did not lead to wins. Everything that the guys were supposed to do, they did not do. They did the opposite. Dante Johnson, KO guy, gets decisions. Guy that also always gets subs, almost gets knocked out, gets decisioned. Guys that should get subbed somehow pull off decisions, and guys that don't get subbed somehow get subbed. It was a crazy ass week. I ain't gonna lie to you. You might have seen us on the main card minute. You know what I mean? Don't forget to scan the QR code, main card minute. You might be catching me over there putting belt to ass on prop quiz, just fucking smacking bitches left and right. You know what I mean? If you want to see some MMA knowledge flexed on some motherfuckers, come watch me put belt to ass on the main card minute on prop quiz, baby. It's a good time. It's a good time. Whoever's facing me, they going down. Sorry, Bronstetter. Sorry, Oscar Willis. All right? Sorry, Jed Mishu. I had to do it. I had to grab one of these and put it on them. Feel me? You feel me? But anyways, just for housekeeping purposes, scan the QR code, main card man on your left. One more round fights on your right. All right? If you got wins that you earned from the channel, send them in one more round fights at gmail.com. I want to show you off like one of my French whores. Okay? And then shout out to our sponsor, W.GG. Use promo code one more round for 10% off. That's promo code one more round for 10% off. Let's get this off early this time. I'm probably gonna forget I put it here, but sponsors, hit me up. The fuck are you waiting for? Dumbass, hit me up. Stupid, hit me up. All right, let's talk about it. We got lots to talk about. We actually don't have too much to talk about in the MMA news department. MMA updates, so to speak. I should probably change that to combat sports updates because we do include boxing in this. So look for me to say that I'll change this lower and not do it next week. Okay. But let's talk about our MMA updates, shall we? I mean, first off, we finally got the White House card announced. My Lord. We've been hearing this date, June 14th, for probably a year at this point. And we've been hearing that we'd be getting big fights on this card probably every single day at this point. But guess what? We finally got the card. And my grade is not going to be as low as you think it's going to be. I got time to sleep on it. And when I first heard this card, I gave this motherfucker a C minus probably. I was like, what the fuck is this? All the names we were hearing, and then we get this fight, whatever, and then we get an interim in the co-main, and we get Sean. I was confused when I first saw this card, but then I saw the vision. And what I see here is finish after finish after finish after finish after finish. Now, you're probably like, what the fuck? You have O'Malley Zahabi in there. But if there's an opponent tailor-made for Sean O'Malley to finally get a finish at the top of the division, it's probably Amin Zahabi. Sean O'Malley is the American. He's put in a good spot here. I'm not going to lie to you. Amin Zahabi does have a confusing style. But if there's anybody that could put hands on him, get back to their feet, and put some more hands on him, and possibly get a KO on Amin Zahabi, who we've seen hurt by lesser opponents, it's Sean O'Malley. All right, so I like the Sean O'Malley building on this card. Let me tell you the whole card from top to bottom, and then we'll talk about it. It's Ilia Topuria versus Justin Gaethje to headline. Then the co-main is Alex Poatan Pereira versus Cyril Gane. Gane. For the interim heavyweight title, yes, they're keeping Tom Aspinall as the full heavyweight undisputed champion. Okay. Then Sean O'Malley versus Amin Zahabi. And then underneath that, we have Mauricio Hufi taking on Michael Chandler. Okay. Now, you're probably like, wait, that's set up for the American to get knocked out. Is it though? I mean, yeah, Hufi took out Rafael Fiziev. But Rafael Fiziev has no intent of taking it to the ground. Michael Chandler will confuse him by taking it to the ground. He'll fake it and then throw an overhand over the top. This could be a Michael Chandler finish too. Don't automatically tell yourself that that's a Hufi win. Then you got Bo Nickel and Kyle Dawkins. This is absolutely a spot for Bo Nickel to style on him. They saw what Bo Nickel did to a grappler. They're like, okay, Well, I feel like we've seen Kyle Dawkins on his back. You could probably take him down, maybe ground and pound him out, maybe get yourself a sub. Nice win here over a guy that's doing really well for themselves. You know what I mean? So I see Bo Nickel in a finish spot there. And last but not least, my favorite and probably everybody's favorite of the card, Diego Lopez versus Steve Garcia. That's a banger. That's a banger of featherweight. Diego Lopez is never in a boring fight unless he's against Volk. And Steve Garcia, that man doesn't know what boring is. So that's going to be a banger of featherweight. The main event is must-see knockout TV, Ilya and Justin Gaethje. And then we have a heavyweight co-main with our light heavyweight champion moving up in weight to get his third belt. So kind of historical, even though it's for an interim belt. I see the vision, UFC. I see it. You know, I'm just going to say it was Ariel level glaze. I'm only saying because when Ariel glazed Logan Paul, he was like, you know, D1 glazer. But Eric, the glaze was laid on thick for this card. And I don't think the glazing that we got for a year deserved the card that we got. You could have glazed for 3 months, bro. You didn't have to glaze for a whole fucking year to give us this. That's all I have to say on that. It was a little it was a little stretched out, elongated glaze, let's call it. Okay, that's the only thing. I was like, bro, we've been hearing about this for so long, and then the card finally comes out. We don't get Jones, we don't get Conor, we don't get 3 or 4 title fights. You know, there's a bunch of boxes that we've heard that I was hoping would be checked off, and none of them bitches were checked off. So yeah, but I'm glad it was finally announced. We have 3 months until the card, and I'm excited for, let's say, 75%, 80% of these fights. Okay, so solid, not a bad card at all. Oh, and my final grade, let's go B plus. You can't get an A because you need 3 title fights to get an A. You can't get an A. I'm not giving you an A. But for being in the B class, you have to be a B plus with Ilya Gaethje on the card, Poatan getting a third belt on the card, all-time killer fight between Lopez and Garcia and possibly Hoofy Chandler. Like, yeah, I'm gonna give that a B plus. I'm gonna give that a B plus. Let me bring in the chat. My bad, chat. I always neglect you at the start. Tanner says, I just got to say for myself that the ladder bet I called out for the main event is the only thing that saved my ass. Was that the overs ladder? Because that's what I took too, baby. Over 2.5, over 3.5, over 4.5. Fight goes to decision, Max decision, and Oliveira decision. So it was a cash either way at the end. It was a beautiful savior to the night. All those singles were saviors to the night. Man. I wish you imagine you could parlay your over 2.5 with your 3.5 with your 4.5, making a decision crazy. Like, I wish there was a book that did that. If anything better, I'm not glazing Jake Paul or better picks or any of that shit, but I feel like if any book was gonna let you do that, it would probably be better. I wish I would have bet Jenny, but I have completely stopped tailing those and not even really intentionally. Yeah, I stopped tailing for a while. And now I'm at the point where, like, I haven't taken all of them, so it's hard for me to break even on it. So I don't take all of them. I just take the ones that, like, have a good feeling will win. But Luke takes all of them, so he's at that record of being over 16 units or anything. I think I'm like under 20 units on the mystery bet or some shit. So that's why I selectively choose mine. But that actually at this point I might be close to even on the mystery bet after that plus 1,000. Charles Oliveira. Shout out to my dog, the Bronx. LT Scamote says, I think so. He also says, instead of the commission, there will be a Secret Service and ICE agents checking fighters before they get in the octagon. Probably, bro. That's why me and Luke don't want to go anymore. We're like, bro, security's going to be crazy. They're probably going to put us in some shack where we're not going to see anything. We're not going to be able to walk out to the arena. It's going to be stupid. We're just going to end up leaving and watching the fight in our hotels and then wasting money on the weekend and being pissed off about it. So we're like, yo, fuck that White House card. Let's just do a card. Let's just do a stream at one of our houses in person. So in-person stream coming soon. We're probably going to be at Luke's. I will probably roundhouse. a can of beer off of his head at some point in the night. It's going to be dope. It's going to be dope. Don't forget to come on down. All right. Tanner also says, based on what Dana White said, I think we definitely lost major names just yesterday. John Jones was almost certainly one of the names. You think so? That would explain the reaction that they got, because how many people are going to get that reaction for them? Like, fuck, bro. And maybe that's why Cyril gone. Maybe the fight didn't fall out. It was supposed to be Jones Pereira, and then Jones fell out. Like, oh, I hurt my hip. Doctor said I couldn't do it. And then they're like, all right, Gon, you want the interim against Cyril? And then he's like, against Poatan. He's like, oh yeah, fuck yeah, put me in that bitch. I need that belt. So that's what I think happened. I'm not saying at all that's what actually happened, but that's what I think happened. So yeah, I think we're aligned on that. And then a lot of break says Ilya or Justin. Bitch, what kind of question is that? You know the answer. That was a facetious question right there. That was what's it called? That was a rhetorical question right there. A lot of breaks. You know it's Ilya, big dog. Come on now. Come on now. Ain't no money of mine touching Justin unless I look at the end of the night and I'm like, oh my God, I have 65 bets on Ilya Topuria and it's my last legs. I need to put something on Justin. That's when my money line Justin will go in, because you know that bitch is about to be like plus 400. You know it. Ain't no way that thing is less than plus 325. I'm calling it right now. Justin's going to be plus 300, hopefully plus 400. And if that's the case, that's the range that I would put a money line on him. I don't need to put KO. I don't need to put this. There's always a chance that Ilya breaks a toe or some shit mid-fight. He can't continue. Justin gets the belt. We have to do a rematch. This shit's possible. All right? Freak accident. Fucking sneeze. Fucking referee breaks his leg inside. All the other referees have fucking COVID. We can't, something happens. And Justin somehow wins, or he somehow catches him. That's possible too. But decision, throw that shit out the window. Throw that shit out the window. Yeah, man. It's Ilya, bro. It's Ilya, bro. Let's be honest here. Gaethje will be there to be hit, and he will come forward, and he's not afraid. He ain't no bitch, and that's going to be his downfall. It will. Seems like Dana and John will never fight in the UFC again. I'm assuming you mean Connor. But yeah, I don't think. Seems like Dana said John will never fight in the UFC again. Probably, man. If he was, that tasted weird. If he was the guy that was supposed to take on Poatan in the interim heavyweight title bout, and he did fall out, that was definitely and almost certainly, and I'd put money on it, the nail in the coffin for John Jones returning to the UFC. Because of the way he handled his retirement, because of the way he handled the media afterwards, and the fact that they were willing to finally put him in this spot, and they were apprehensive about it in the first place because they said, we can't trust you in this spot, and then he does that in that spot. Yeah, that's the nail in the coffin, bro. That's the nail in the coffin. I can't say for sure that that's what's happened, though. But if Jones was supposed to be fighting, that for sure was the nail. Oh, yeah. I do think Ilya as well. And then he also says Topuria minus 520 to minus 600. You're probably right. I'm probably being generous. I'm trying to be nice right now, probably. But yeah, you might be right. That shit, yeah. The days of us seeing, well, Poatan actually might be like a -2 in this one, maybe a -1. But I thought the days of seeing Poatan is a minus, in that range, the days of seeing Ilya in that range, the days of seeing Volk in that range, Valentina in that range. Who else? Who else is in that echelon of fuck? I don't think we'll ever see them down below -300 again. Any of those names, it's going to be tough to cash them on any book at -300 or less because of how great they are and the landscape of opponents in front of them. Yeah, bro. Yeah, it's going to be tough to make some money off them fighters these days. We're going to have to prop them bitches up. KO, sub, decision, overs. You got to add something to it because those fighters are going to be hard to make money off of. And they're the biggest reason why some parlays die, because I'm like, I can only make money with Ilya KO here. And then he decisions Josh Emmett. And I'm like, what the fuck, man? You know what I mean? And then the money's gone. That's my last bet of the night. I'm pissed off going to bed. It's terrible. All right. So, yeah, hopefully we can get some good prices on these fighters because the books are, man, they're holding us by the love handles. I tell you that. That's a fact. That is a fact. Last couple of MMA updates before we get into what happened this week. I'm wasting time here. Armand Soyukin and Giorgio Poulas are going to run it back at RAF 7, March 28th. That's later this month. They had a nice little brawl melee at RAF 6, I believe it was. That was Cejudo versus Faber. And yeah, grudge match happening March 28th. It was supposed to happen at a grappling event, I believe a jiu-jitsu event in Brazil. Giorgio was like, nah, fuck that. We got to run this shit back in wrestling. We're not doing that jiu-jitsu shit. I need my get back. I need my get back. He says. He didn't say it in so many words, but his Greek translation to me, I need my get back. All right. And last but not least, we got a big heavyweight matchup that's been announced. Alexander Volkov, Waldo Cortez Acosta set for UFC 328. That's right. May 9th, Prudential Center, Jersey. Me and Luke will be in attendance. What up? What up? We're going to see some heavyweights go at it. And, you know, I'm pulling out my Haitian flag that night. I'm going to be supporting my Dominican brother, the island of Hispaniola. I'm going to support my boy Waldo Cortez Acosta that night. I'm finally hopping on the bandwagon. But just know I'm repping Haiti. I ain't putting no Dominican flags up. I'm repping Haiti out here. All right? That's how we doing it. Anyways, that's it for MMA updates. Let's move on to what we're really here to talk about. The BMF title was on the line. It wasn't a BMF style fight per se, but two BMFs fought in the BMF fight. Charles Oliveira defeats Max Holloway via decision by grappling in a BMF fight. I know what you're thinking. And I have already thought it. I already put it out there on the main card minute, and we're all going to get this ball rolling right here. It starts on Sunday. Let's kill the BMF title. I think that should be it. I think we've lost the plot. We've completely lost the plot. The BMF title was supposed to be the two baddest motherfuckers fighting for a symbolic belt that symbolized two badass motherfuckers willing to go in there and lay it on the line in the coolest, baddest way possible. It wasn't supposed to be a belt that was passed around from guy to guy based on winning merit like a regular belt. This was supposed to be bestowed upon two bad motherfuckers across any division. It didn't have to be, a welterweight won at this time, and then it was passed down to a lightweight. Now we have all lightweight fights until a lightweight moves up to welterweight, and then it's back to welterweight. And then if a welterweight moves up to middleweight, it's not supposed to be like that. It wasn't supposed to be a belt that you keep fighting, but for some reason, that's what we did with it. And that's why we should kill it. We lost the plot on the belt. This was the least BMF fight that we've ever seen. The only BMF part about it was when Max pointed down in the last minute or so, and then Charles clocked him. So, yeah. This was an easy Charles decision. He won every single round. But this was not a BMF-style BMF fight. And that's why I propose this is the last one that we have. Unless we truly feel that a BMF fight is in the shadows, is waiting. But until then, I think we kill this BMF title. We had it. It was fun while it lasted. It was cool. It was a great concept. But, yeah, we clearly lost the plot. Absolutely. Who's next for both of these guys? I think there's only two options for Charles the Bronx Oliveira. I think it's the loser of Justin Gaethje and Ilia Topuria. Why not the winner, Gav? Why not the winner? Because I think the winner has plenty of options afterwards in which they can go up. They have a number one contender off a win streak still waiting. They have more contenders behind them. A person one win removed from a title fight. There's plenty of options for the winner. Now for the loser, a little bit of a different story. I feel like the loser should be facing Oliveira. Okay? Whether that's a rematch, well, it's going to be a rematch. Either way. But I think that's what's next. And if not, if you don't want to go that route, then the only fight I see is Benoit Saint-Denis. Benoit Saint-Denis, streaking, grapple-heavy style, fun style that both guys are going to employ on each other. They're going to swing and bang in the middle, and then they're going to try to spam takedowns and get to their submissions or the ground and pound from Benoit Saint-Denis, because I don't think Benoit Saint-Denis is going to be stupid enough to try to submit Charles Oliveira. I think he's going to try to ground and pound him, get him up out of there, especially considering how many TKO losses that Charles Oliveira has. So BSD or the loser of the title fight at the White House. That's it for Charles. As for Max, I got to see his stature at lightweight. Every time we've seen him at lightweight, we've seen him against a striker. This was our first time against a grappler, and he was dominated handily. I got to see him against another grappler of the division. Is he truly a lightweight? Did he just get favorable matchups that made it look like he was a lightweight? Is he a real lightweight? These are the questions I have after him being dominated like that, because even Michael Chandler wasn't dominated like that. Arman Tsarukyan wasn't dominated like that. At this stage in Charles's career, none of these guys were dominated like Max was dominated. This was a blank. This was one, maybe two levels below what Valentina did to Weili. I'd say one or two levels below what Valentina did to Weili. Now, that was a blankety blank, like almost 2 10-8s. All right? That was bad. All right? This was almost a level or two below that. Okay, this was I gave Max zero hope by the end of round 3. I was like, oh shit, we're cooked. I was like, we're very much cooked. This is over for us. I don't see him coming back from this. Gamrot wasn't, well, he was submitted in the end, but I even feel like he wasn't that dominated. Michael Chandler wasn't that dominated. Dustin Poirier wasn't that dominated, even though he got finished as well. Tony Ferguson damn near got his arm broken off and didn't get that dominated. Charles Oliveira absolutely dominated Max Oliveira for 25 fucking minutes, and nobody expected that. I know I didn't. Peter did. God damn it, Peter. But anyways. As for Max, Paddy Pimblett, baby. If we're doing another grappler, we got to see what we have in Paddy Pimblett. Was that just a bad performance? I mean, he did get a 48-47 in there, so it wasn't really a bad performance, but I could see Max Paddy. I could see Max Hooker. Max and Dan Hooker's a banger. I feel like we need to put Dan Hooker in a fight that's fun. We've been giving him these guys that we know what they're going to do to him in the end. I feel like Hooker Max will stay on the feet and will be an absolutely fun fight. Paddy Pimblett will probably try to replicate the game plan of Charles Oliveira against Max Holloway, which will tell us a lot about what we have in Max, and it will give us a guy that's not too big at lightweight, but will still be able to tell us how he can fare at lightweight against other guys. So that's a solid matchup. I like that. But if we wanted to give him a real grappler, I would have said Gamrot, but Gamrot's got a matchup against the Argentinian. I can't remember his name. Fuck. Can't remember his name. He just fought not too long ago. I'm seeing his face, but I can't remember his fucking name. I feel like he fought Easy Diaz. Elizio Zaleski dos Santos. Now I gotta go to Dos Santos' wiki to see who the fuck he is because it's bothering the shit out of me. And he didn't even fight him. So now it's still gonna fucking bother me. God damn it. I could have sworn he fought him. I guess not. Who fought him? Fuck. Now I gotta go to Fight Matrix. So annoyed. I'm so annoyed right now. I gotta look this up because it's killing me what this guy's name is. And chat probably already put it up, but I'm too deep in the weeds now. I have to do this for myself. I have to do it myself. Just give it to me. I'll do it myself. Everybody knows that's a scary movie reference. All right, bro. Fucking shit's going so slow. I can't fucking. Esteban Ribovic. Thank you. God, that was going so absolutely fucking terribly. Yeah, Esteban Ribovic. So Gamrot's got a matchup with Esteban Ribovic. I would have said him for Holloway, though. That would have been my matchup. Let's talk about the rest of UFC 326. All right. I mean, we already said Charles Oliveira defeats Max Holloway, unanimous decision, 50-45 across the board to win the BMF title. Caio Borralho defeats Rener de Ridder via unanimous decision, 30-27 across the board. I know you people that had de Ridder plus 200. I know you said 29-28 or de Ridder won. You're wrong. Go back and watch the fight. You're wrong. Okay? You just are. If you watch round one, all the power shots, all the heavy shots, all the advancing, Caio Borralho. You need to pay attention to the MMA rulebook. Okay? Damage, control. Those are things that Caio exhibited. Now, yeah, Rener de Ridder had clinches up against the fence, some small little rabbit punches. Yeah, he had that. He had a takedown here and there. Caio got back up. Caio put more heavy hands on him. Caio had the damage. First criteria is damage. That's what Caio was doing. That little cut that was caused, yeah, it may not have looked like Rener de Ridder had a lot of damage on him. For some reason, he did not wear it bad. And then one strict jab landed from Rener de Ridder, cuts Caio. So it looked bad optically. But all the damage was coming from Caio. And if you watch that round one, you will see that. You watch that round two, you will see that. You watch round three, you'll be like, hey, look at that. De Ridder, that was his best round. I'll give you that. De Ridder's best round is round three. That is the argument that I would give for a 29-28. But no, that was Caio Borralho, 3 rounds to nothing, 30-27. For one time in my life, for the first time in my life, I agreed with both Sal D'Amato and Adelaide Bird. That I know it makes me sound crazy even saying that out loud, but yes, they were for the first time in their lives correct as well. So Raul Rosas Jr. defeats Rob Font via unanimous decision, 30-27 across the board. It's what we saw. I mean, Rob Font loses in pairs. Rob Font has issues with grapplers and gets taken down often because his takedown defense is less than 45%. Anybody with stats in front of them could have told you this was what was going to happen. Raul Rosas Jr., fantastic performance. The biggest win of his career by far. Having Rob Font on your resume, fantastic feather in that cap. All right. Shout out to Raul Rosas Jr. I had to do it one time for the one time. Drew Dober defeats Michael Johnson via TKO punches, round 2, 1 minute and 52 seconds. I'm not going to say what you think I'm going to say. I'm not going to do what you think I'm going to do, man. I'm not going to freak out. He does what he does, man. He does what he does. He does it again. Gets the knockout. Michael Johnson looked fantastic to start this fight. But like Michael Johnson always does, sometimes, like I say all the time, sometimes a fighter DNA is their DNA. You know, he showed us great flashes of his old DNA in the past couple fights. You know, I was like, holy shit, speedy, flashy Michael Johnson decision guy's back. Fool's gold. Drew Dober was like, hey, buddy, I'm a different type of power up here at lightweight. And put them hands on him, and it was just like the Josh Emmett knockout. Man, that was bad. That was a bad one. It was just like the Josh Emmett knockout. It was just like who was it? I got to look it up now. Who the fuck knocked him out like that? Oh, Carlos Diego Ferreira knockout. Okay. It was one of those one-hitter quitters that you're like, oh, this is over. But shout out to Michael Johnson. He did show flashes, and even though the lines were moving crazily towards Drew Dober, I mean, Michael Johnson started as a favorite, and then he ended as a near plus 200 dog. But he actually looked fantastic up until that shot landed. It is what it is. It is what it is. That's the game we're playing. You zig when you should have zagged. That wrench gonna hit you. You know what I mean? If you could dodge a wrench, you could dodge a dodgeball. Gregory Rodriguez defeats Bruno Ferreira via knockout punch. Round 1, 1 minute and 47 seconds. Revenge! My man got his revenge. And he got it quicker than him. I mean, he was knocked out by this man just 2.5 years ago in the second round. And he comes back at UFC 326 and he says, I did not forget about that, motherfucker. And knocks him beautiful setup. Nice right hand over the top. Beautiful connection from Gregory Rodriguez. Stops, referee steps in. It's over. Shout out to my boy, Gregory Rodriguez. Killcliff, you got one. Shout out to him with the big KO. Revenge was sweet, I bet. God damn. 1 minute and 47 seconds. Oh, Lord. Shout out to Cody Garbrandt. Shout out to the family jewels, the Garbrandt jewels, because they are feeling it Sunday morning. Let me tell you, he defeats Zhao Long via unanimous decision, 28-27 across the board. And you're like, 28-27, Gav. Don't you mean 29-28? No, because Zhao Long was deducted 2 points in round 3 for low blows to Cody Garbrandt. And it wasn't 2 low blows. It was 4. He hit him a first time. Then he hit him a second time. Then points were taken. Then he hit him a third time. Then a second point was taken. Then he hit him again. But then they didn't stop for that one. So, yeah. But Cody Garbrandt, by the grace of the judges' scorecards in that last round, maybe a 10-7 round, because he might have lost the first 2 rounds. I forget how they scored it. We got to look at those cards. But anyways, Cody Garbrandt gets the win, and that's what matters here. Dante Johnson defeats Cody Brundage via split decision, 29-28, 28-29, 29-28. This was a close one. It was it was Cody Brundage round 1. Dante Johnson round 2. Came down to round 3. It was a close one in the end. Cody Brundage, a beautiful, heartfelt, motivational speech from Mark Montoya in round 3, before round 3 started, to Cody Brundage. This was his chance to win the fight. He came up short on the judges' scorecards. It is what it is. This is what happens when you leave it up to the judges, man. I actually thought he could have done enough to get the win, but it went to Dante Johnson in the end. Alberto Montes defeats Ricky Turcio via Darce choke submission, round 2, 40 seconds. Beautiful setup to the choke, puts Ricky Turcios out cold. Turcios notoriously hard to finish, usually loses by decision. It is what it is. Shout out to Montez. What a nice win over a veteran and a tough participant. Niam Jargo Tumendembarel defeats Cody Durden via unanimous decision, 30-27, 29-28. A solid fight there. Sumaderji defeats Jesus Aguilar via unanimous decision, 30-27 across the board. Dayar Nurzage defeats Rafael Tobias via unanimous decision, 30-27, 29-28, 28. And Hidalgo Balato defeats Luke Fernandez via TKO strikes, round 1, 2 minutes and 42 seconds. What a turn of events in such a short amount of time. Luke Fernandez was dominating the first minute and a half, maybe 2 minutes of this fight, and something turned in the last 45 seconds. Hidalgo Balato lands one shot. He turns, drops him, turns to his back. Hidalgo just keeps landing strikes, and the referee calls it. Luke Fernandez, in his 7th fight, loses by TKO to Rodolfo Balato. Crazy to see. And with that, Rodolfo Balato gets a bonus, and $100,000 bonus. The performance of the night bonuses went to Rodolfo Balato, Alberto Montez, Gregory Rodriguez, and Drew Dober. There were only 4 finishes on the card, so guess what? There are only $400,000 handed out tonight. There were no $25,000 bonuses. Okay? Shout out to those 4 guys that got the finishes. And yeah, that's it for UFC 326. Hope you guys enjoyed the coverage. Hope I covered everything for you. Hope you enjoyed it. But there's some more MMA to talk about. Oh, let's talk about the chat. My bad. Chat, I neglected you again. We Game All Night says, what's good? What up, We Game All Night? How you feeling, bro? I've been telling people DeRitter overrated. Yeah. DeRitter, I mean, I didn't think he would have the like I said earlier, a fighter's DNA is sometimes their DNA. And, you know, Charles got that tag early in his career and kind of didn't shake it for a long, long time. And DeRitter's going to have that tag for a little bit. You're going to have that DeRitter to quitter tag. And it is what it is. It is what it is. It's going to be hard for him to change his image unless he has some performances like Charles did to change his career around. But DeRitter's gas tank will always be a question now. We'll be like, oh, will that, whatever happened to him in that Brendan Allen fight, will that thing come back? You know, that's always going to be a question. He's a fighter I can't trust now because of that. You know, so I was always on Caio Borralho, Fighting Nerds all day. Fighting Nerds had a little hiccup at the end of 2025, but we back now. We back, baby. It is what it is. My parlay hit last night, 6 for 6. Damn, what was that parlay? I need to know. We Game All Night. I need to know just so I could, you know, put it in my brain, see where you went with that, put that strategy into my repertoire, and then you know, hopefully next time I don't fuck up all my parlays like I did this week. They took the Michael Johnson fight off bet MGM. I would have too, based off how the lines moved. A lot of people made money on Dober, especially people that got him as a dog early. Those people were ecstatic. And then I had him as my bet originally. Then I switched it to Johnson decision, and then the line started changing, and then I knew I was fucked. Maybe something fishy was going on. I see the way the fight played out. I don't think so anymore. But who knows? Who knows? Maybe he got dropped in the back sparring with somebody, and people are like, "Oh shit, Dober's gonna knock him out." You know what I mean? Infrared, what up, bro? He says, "If you can dodge traffic." If you could dodge traffic. All right, we had last MMA that we'll talk about on this channel. RIZIN 52 happened. Akimoto versus Mix. And man, if you're a fan of Patchy Mix, you are having a terrible, terrible last 6 months. You are just, woo. Because I'm one of those people, and I feel for you. I feel for you. Kiyoma Akimoto defeats Patchy Mix via TKO punch and soccer kicks in round 2. Patchy didn't have it. This young 19-year-old walked in there and absolutely barraged Patchy Mix. Knees, punches, uppercuts, and hooks, soccer kicks when he was down. Places that Patchy Mix usually has time to rest and protect himself in other promotions that he's taken a part of. He didn't have that rest time in RIZIN. This was a tough comeback fight for Patchy Mix. I mean, if you go to a place like One Championship in RIZIN and that rule set, after having a tough run over here. It was a ballsy move, and I hope he comes back stronger from this. I hope he learns from this. I hope he acclimates himself better to the environment over there, because I would love to see Patchy Mix get a win and turn this around, bro. 3 straight losses in a row. One of them being a terrible finish, in which you were blasted in round 1 and 2 with soccer kicks. Could have been ended in round 1, by the way. Referee gave him some grace. And then round 2, it was the same thing was happening. He was only losing more brain cells. So yeah. I'm rooting for Patchy Mix. I hope he gets back on the horse. Luis Gustavo defeats Taisei Sakuraba via KO round 2. Luis Gustavo. These hands. My Lord. I thought he was going to win by sub. I had Luis Gustavo sub in my mind. I didn't know he was going to use the limbs like that. I didn't know he was going to use them like that, big dog. Damn. Yeah, go ahead and watch that if you haven't. Luis Gustavo, big dubber. Ryo Tagagi defeats Shuya Kimura via TKO doctor stoppage round 1. Koji Takeda defeats Victor Kolesnik via unanimous decision 29-28 across the board. Sari Oshima defeats Kato Yama via unanimous decision 29-28, 29-28, 29-28. I thought Kato Yama was going to win this bout. I was a little upset in the end here, but it is what it is. Prospects can't always do what you want them to. Yuki Ito defeats Carlos Mata via TKO punches round 1. Go ahead and look at that one as well. Shinyosuke Kishimoto defeats Hideo Tokoro via submission, anaconda choke in round 1. Kim Kyung-pyo defeats Yusuke Yachi via TKO doctor stoppage with a cut in round 2. There's a lot of doctor stoppages on this card, weren't they? Shoko Sato defeats John Sweeney via submission triangle in round 1. Tony Laramie defeats Takaki Soya via TKO in round 3. Shout out to Tony Laramie. I don't think that's TJ Laramie, is it? I think that maybe, yeah, I think that's TJ Laramie, low key. I don't think that's a third Laramie. I think that's TJ Laramie. But yeah, Tony Laramie defeats Takaki Soya via TKO round 3. Lee Jung-hyun defeats Joe Arai via TKO round 3, and Noiru Narita defeats Lee Bon-mi via submission guillotine choke round 1, and that was the toughest gamut of names I've had to deal with in RIZIN in quite some time. What the hell was that? My Lord. Flowen Reese up in this piece. What up, Flowen? He goes, Patchy Mix lost so flat-footed and sluggish now. It's weird. Go watch that tournament. He smoked through, literally moved different. It's hella suspect. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's Patchy Mix, I don't know what it is, man. I don't know if the weight, like, this was a better weight class for him. Maybe too much weight on him now. I don't know. I don't know the issues that he's dealing with. I don't know if it's body issues. I don't know if it's sports psychology issues. I don't know if it's issues at home. I don't know if it's, I don't know what it is, but he isn't putting it together at the high level that we've seen him do in Bellator. And it's alarming to see the big difference, because at one time we were like, bro, he might be able to take out Marab right now. And he has not exhibited that level of skill at all in any fight we've seen in the last year. So yeah, tough to see. Shout out Patchy Mix, though. That's my dog, always and forever. That's my dog. I still got you, Patchy. I still got you. Tatiana, we got you too. Tatiana, we still rocking with you. All right. We still rocking with you. That title fight was you made me look bad, but it is what it is. We still rocking with both of y'all. Okay. And that's it for RIZIN. Unfortunately, no. Where's the fucking lower, bro? Did I delete this shit? Here it is. No fighter spotlight this week. Unfortunately, I don't think anybody deserved it on the card. If I did it on Raul Rosas Jr., it'd be like, damn, bro, he's been around a while. He's not a fucking, I mean, we don't need to know about Chiwiwis, man. So it's all right. Yeah, no fighter spotlight this week. I'm sorry. It is what it is. We have UFC Vegas 114 next week. We have plenty of candidates for Fighter Spotlight. Umar C, Kevin Vallejos, Steven Asplund. Who else? Bolagioki, Beatrice Mosqueda. Fuck it. Sam Hughes. No, Sam Hughes, she's been around long enough. Elijah Smith. You know, he got that slam KO his last time out over that Asian man. But yeah, Fighter Spotlight, not this week. Hopefully next week. It is what it is, yo. It is what it is. There was not a lot of boxing happening this weekend. There is some happening later today in a couple hours. The only boxing that happened was Misfits Duel 2. Yeah, I'm covering it. Buckle up. All right. Ty Mitchell defeats Gabe Rosado via unanimous decision, 59-55 across the board. Ty Mitchell styled on him, man. He was landing some big shots, even hurt Gabe Rosado at one point. Ty Mitchell was looking good. I didn't expect that performance from Ty Mitchell. I expected Gabe Rosado to come out and get this decision. This was a surprise to me. But Gabe Rosado may have lost the step. I don't know at what point in his career he's at. But that's not the type of performance that I expect from a professional boxer at this point. Maybe the money's good, man, and he don't care what happened up in there. Yeah, I don't know. But this was almost a blankety blank blanket. Ty Mitchell ran away with it. He looked fantastic. Shout out to Ty Mitchell. Made a name for himself on this card. Waleed Sharks defeats Argentinian King via KO, round 2. We're just going to move past that. Our girl, Chicago, stand up. Pearl Gonzalez defeats Carla Jade via unanimous decision, 48-47 across the board. Shout out to Pearl Gonzalez, UFC veteran, Bellator veteran. You already know what it is. Pearl Gonzalez, one of the original GOATs of women's MMA. Let's go, Pearl. One of the first to get augmentations in the UFC and fight with them. All right? Pearl Gonzalez gets the win. Also with a huge win. Shout out to two-time, I believe, Olympic medalist Jordan Banjo. I mean, not Jordan Banjo. Jay Jones defeats singer Egypt Chris via KO, round 2. If you haven't seen this fucking KO, I don't even know. I'm still fighting with myself if I'm going to include this in TKO Tuesday as an entry, because I said I wouldn't include like lower level boxing, but this was so good I might have to make an exception. Jay Jones knocks out Egypt Chris with a gorgeous left hook. Hit her so hard that she turned her body into a U. Her body like curves backwards. Her spine, she hit her so hard that her spine went backwards, curved, and then she fell face first. This was a gorgeous KO. If you haven't seen the Jay Jones KO of Egypt Chris, go and watch that. Go and watch that, please. Do a favor for us all. Jordan Banjo defeats Tempo Arts via TKO, round 4. I don't know who the fuck these influencers are, so I'm just going to keep it moving. Will Anderson defeats Jake Cornish via KO, round 3. And Justin Ibarola defeats Jay Springer via TKO in round 4. And that's my coverage of Misfits Duel 2. Shout out to Pearl Gonzalez. Shout out to Jay Jones. Shout out to Ty Mitchell. Yeah. Shout out to a solid card by Misfits Duel 2. I mean, they got the people watching social media worthy clips over the weekend too. But the real boxing happens tonight. Zuffa Boxing 4. Zuffa Boxing 3 did not disappoint. Zuffa Boxing 4, I hope, delivers as well. I'll cover that in a little bit, but let's talk about the upcoming boxing slate. If you don't know the upcoming boxing schedule, I'm your guy. I will keep you updated as new fights get added, all that. Last week, I did the full one, saying every single fight. We're going to do a little quicker this week, okay? We're already over the hour. March 8th, Las Vegas, that's tonight. Paramount Plus, that's where you'll watch it. Zuffa Boxing, that's the promotion. Title fight between Jairo Pataya and Brandon Glanton, 12 rounds for, it was supposed to be for Opataya's IBF Cruiserweight title. I've since heard that there's been issues with the IBF letting him fight for the title. This just may be a cruiserweight bout. I'm not sure, We'll hear about it more when the card starts later on today. I don't know. March 14th in Anaheim, California, Arnold Barboza Jr. taking on Kenneth Sims at welterweight. Gabby Fundora also fights on the card, defending her undisputed women's flyweight championship. We're always rocking with Gabby. We're always rocking with the Gabby KO. Fuck what you heard. That's our flyweight queen. All right, Gabby Fundora. Fundora KO. Let's go. Let's go. Length kills. Length kills. Also, March 14th in Dublin, Ireland, on the zone, James Dickens, Anthony Cacace, 12 rounds of junior lightweight. March 15th, Yokohama, Japan, Knockout Freshmart takes on Iwata, 12 rounds for Freshmart's flyweight title. Also on the card, a title fight between Anthony Olasquaga and GQ Lemuria or whatever. The brother of Gabby Fundora, Sebastian Fundora, fights March 28th in Las Vegas, prime pay-per-view. He takes on Keith Thurman, 12 rounds for Fundora's WBC junior middleweight title. Also, March 28th in Manchester, England, on the zone, Moses Atoma, Jermaine Franklin Jr. This is a rebooking. This was supposed to happen in January. April 4th in London, on the zone, Deontay Wilder takes on Derek Chisora, heavyweight. Also on April 4th, Lauren Price takes on Stephanie Aquino for Price's WBC, IBF, and WBA welterweight titles. Women's fight right there. London, April 5th, Caroline Dubois, sister of Daniel Dubois, takes on Terry Harper. 10 rounds for Dubois' WBC women's lightweight title and Harper's WBO women's lightweight title. Ellie Scottney's on the card. Chantel Cameron's on the card. Plenty of names there. Women's boxing on display April 5th in London. April 11th on Netflix, Tyson Fury taking on Arslanbek Makhmedov at heavyweight, 12 rounds. April 18th in Las Vegas, Manny Pacquiao, Ruslan Pravagnikov, 10 rounds. It's a welterweight exhibition. This is supposed to be before Manny Pacquiao takes on Floyd Mayweather later this year. Floyd Mayweather also has a bout. I didn't put it on this list, but it's in the same month. April 18th, Liverpool, England, on the zone. Callum Smith takes on David Morrell, 12 rounds for Smith's WBO interim light heavyweight title. May 2nd, Las Vegas, on the zone. Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez takes on David Benavidez, 12 rounds for Ramirez's WBO and WBA cruiserweight titles. And last but not least, May 9th, Manchester, England, the brother of Caroline Dubois takes on Fabio Wardley in a title fight. Wardley, Dubois, 12 rounds for Wardley's WBO heavyweight title. Shout out to Daniel Dubois. Love to see him in another title fight. Always fun action when he fights. And that's the upcoming boxing schedule up until May. I got y'all. And I got y'all for MMA too. Okay? Here is the upcoming MMA schedule 2026. March 14th, Meta Apex, this coming Saturday. UFC Fight Night 269, otherwise known as UFC Vegas 114. Emmett versus Vallejos. Okay, March 20th in Madrid, Spain, it's the return of PFL. PFL Madrid, Van Steenis versus Edwards 2. The following day, we have UFC Fight Night 270. And then March 28th in Seattle, Washington. I believe that's in London, UK. UFC Fight Night 270. In Seattle, Washington, UFC Fight Night 271, Adesanya versus Piper. That's UFC Seattle. March 28th, on the same day, we have PFL Pittsburgh. Eblin versus Battle. That's Brian Battle making his MMA return. April 3rd, we have 174, the return of one championship numbered events. April 4th, we have the Meta Apex UFC Fight Night 272. 272. UFC Vegas 115 at the Meta Apex. April 10th, we have PFL Africa at a TBD location. April 11th, we have UFC 327 in Miami, Florida. April 11th, we have PFL Chicago. That is the same day as well, going head-to-head. We have Pettis versus McKee. That is Pettis versus McKee, not AJ McKee. This is Pettis versus Alessio McKee. Okay? That is not AJ McKee, but it is Sergio Pettis. April 12th in Fukuoka, Japan, we have RIZIN Landmark 13. April 16th in Boston, Massachusetts, we have PFL Boston. The main event is still yet to be announced. April 18th in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada, we have UFC Fight Night Burns versus Mallah, otherwise known as UFC Fight Night 273 or UFC Ottawa. April 25th at the Meta Apex, we have a UFC Fight Night, Brady versus Buckley, otherwise known as UFC Fight Night 274. April 29th in Tokyo, Japan, we have one championship, 175, April 29th in Tokyo, Japan. May 3rd in Perth, Australia, we have UFC Fight Night 275 in Perth, Australia. Perth, UFC Fight Night 275. I believe we have that headlined by Pradas and Della Maddalena. I could be wrong on that, but I believe that's the headliner there. May 8th, TBD, but we have PFL Mania 9. Also on May 8th, we have PFL Brussels. All right, we have a doubleheader for PFL. Brussels, Belgium, Habarora versus Henderson. The return of Benson Henderson, leaving retirement to take on young killer from Belgium, Patrick Habarora. Excited for that. May 30th in Macau, China, we have UFC Fight Night 276, UFC Macau. Okay. June 14th, we have UFC White House, UFC Freedom 250, UFC whatever you want to call it. That's in Washington, D.C. June 26th, we have one Denver out of Denver, Colorado. And last but not least, August 7th, we have PFL Atlantic City in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Luke, I'll be looking to possibly go to that as media. Atlantic City, New Jersey, August 7th, PFL Atlantic City. And that's the full MMA slate, all the major promotions for you in the next coming months. You're welcome. Ain't nobody else got you like I got you. Okay? Flower Reese also says, Opataya gonna fuck Glanton up. I like Brandon Glanton, though, and this is a legit cruiser fight for Zuffa. We'll be rooting for the crazy upset. Yeah, it's possible. Glanton has some early knockouts himself, man. We'll talk about it in a little bit. Flower Reese. I'll bring that up in just a couple minutes here. And then Richland says, what's good, gang? Just woke up. Wake and bake, my brothers. Wake and bake. Yeah, let's go, Richland. Enjoy your Sunday, man. That's what Sunday fun day, bro. That's what it's for. Enjoy it. Let's get into the picks, though. We got some picks for the weekend for you. Picks on UFC Vegas 114. I'm going to give you guys a few names, and I'm going to give you why. I'm going to give you a few names. I'm going to give you why. You already know we're going with our girl. Shout out to Dean Thomas. Our redheaded girl, Jillian Robertson. This is a rebooking. She was supposed to take on Amanda Lemos. Amanda Lemos dropped from the fight. Short notice opponent tried to step in. That opponent dropped out too. She didn't end up getting a fight at the end of 2025. She does get one in 2026. She's a heavy grappler. That is Lemos' kryptonite. We're rolling with our girl, Jilly Bean Robertson, otherwise known as, I forget her nickname because I call her Jilly Bean so much. Umar C taking on Ion Cutelaba. I got to go with my boy Umar C. Too skilled. He will not brawl with Ion Cutelaba. I could see him getting jabbed up and being on his back for extended periods of time. Shout out to my dog, Umar C. Andre Feely in a veteran spot. I believe the Andre Feely trend, he's due for a win here. Veteran savvy. He's fighting a guy that really hasn't proven anything. I kind of like Andre Feely on UFC Vegas 114. Shout out to our boy Elijah Smith. He had a beautiful slam KO win over some poor Asian man last time out. He's a young up-and-comer. He's got power in his hands. He's got speed. He's crafty, and he's vicious. We're rolling with Elijah Smith. Last but not least, also in a veteran spot, we're probably going to parlay these two together. Charles Johnson, baby. This is his bounce-back fight. Got touched up in his last fight by our boy Alex Perez. I think he could actually get a KO here. He's going to come out this fight mean. Charles Johnson really needs a bounce back here. I'm going to be trusting him here. Let's go with Charles Johnson on UFC Vegas 114. Shout out to our guy at flyweight. Real quick turnaround, too. I feel like he just got touched up. It wasn't like a got put out knockout. He just kept getting touched and then kept getting wobbly. And the referee, eventually had to stop it. But, I still like him. Now, Flower and Reese, let's talk about this Jai Opataya, Brandon Glanton. All right, Zuffa Boxing 4. I'm not talking about all the bouts. I only care about the main event. Fuck everything else, all right? This is all I care about. Opataya 1-6. All right? Of his 29 wins, Opataya has 23 knockouts. A majority of those knockouts are in rounds 1-6. Now, the only thing that scares me here is that Brandon Glanton has never been KO'd in his 3 losses, but most of his knockouts are early too. I feel like he's going to feel invincible. I've never been knocked out. Opatai is going to touch him, hurt him. He's going to be a little bit more timid. Opatai is going to come forward, and he's going to end it early. Opatai might be pissed that this IBF belt may not be on the line and that he had to take this bout for Zuffa Boxing. He's probably getting paid pretty well, but not being able to truly defend the belt might give him a little bit of an edge here. So I still like the Opatai TKO. He was in the clubber parlay. The clubber parlay obviously did not go our way, so maybe we won't be trusting it here. Maybe we should be going with an Opatai decision. We'll see what the value is. Let's actually check right now. Let's check live what this value is, because we still got time, and that fight is later today. Come on, DraftKings. You should have this front and center. Why do I have to search for this? This is one of the bigger events today. Come on, DraftKings. Dropping the ball left and right. It is what it is. Pretty close odds on a lot of these fights on this card today, boys and girls. Money to be made if you're so inclined. But Opatai is a minus 1,400. Glanton at plus 800. Opatai decision sitting at plus 160. His KO is minus 165. Yeah. Let's see what KO 1 through 6 might be. KO 1 through 6 plus 275 for Opatai. 7 through 12 is plus 160. And decision is plus 160. I might be rocking with the tie decision or the 1 through 6. I ain't fucking with that 7 through 12. I think I'm rocking with the decision and the 1 through 6. I think those would be my two things. Split it both ways. You can make money whether you win or the only way you lose is if Opatai wins in 7 to 12. You'll still make money either way on that, because plus 160, if you just put the same amount on both, you obviously be rooting for the 1 through 6. And if it doesn't happen, then you get to root for the decision. And it probably slows down enough that it probably is a decision. Glanton also never been knocked out. So probably, yeah, that's probably how I'm gonna do my bets later. It has the fight listed at 11 p.m. So this will be later tonight. Okay, so this is truly a night fight. Zuffa Boxing Sunday nights. All right, so don't expect this thing to happen at like 4 or anything like that. It's happening way, way, way later in the day. Okay, so save some of that money from NBA betting today. I'm telling that to myself, really. Really just saying that to myself. 1 through 6 is solid odds. Both guys like to throw leather early. That's what I'm saying, Floweries. That's why I like it. That's why I like it. And then we have 2 boxing cards this weekend coming up. Not today, 7 days from now, I'm talking about 6 days. Arnold Barboza Jr., Kenneth Sims Jr. All right, both of these guys, decisionators. All right, and you're like, what? Decisionators? Barboza, 11 knockouts, 21 decisions, and his 32-1 record. Okay, 20 fucking decisions. All right, and his lone loss was a decision. Sims, 22-3, 8 KOs. So what is that, 14 decisions? Never been KO'd as well? Yeah, give me the Barboza decision, please. Barboza decision is what I'm rocking with here. As for Gabby Fundora, our flyweight queen, you got to go with the Gabby KO. We always rock with that Gabby KO. Ladies vicious. She going to put it on these ladies. It's her belt to lose. Gabby KO all day. Let's get this money, honey. All right, and those are my picks for Arnold Barboza Jr. versus Kenneth Sims Jr. It's Junior versus Junior night. And then last but not least, not the author, but James Dickens takes on Anthony Cacace. All right. James Dickens, Anthony Cacace. What you got? Here's what I got. I got Cacace TKO 9 through 12, possibly a decision. Those are going to be my 2 bets, though. Cacace TKO, Cacace decision. Sorry, Cacace TKO 9 through 12, Cacace decision. Dickens is 36-5. 15 KOs. So that's 21 decisions. All right. And he's been KO'd 4 times in his 5 losses, which is why I'm leaning that Cacace TKO. Cacace is 24-1, 9 KOs. So 15 decisions for him. All right. It would tell me to go with Cacace decision, which is what we should probably do. But the fact that Dickens has been knocked out 4 times in his 5 losses, I have to consider that Cacace 9 through 12, because that's when Cacace tends to get his knockouts. It's usually in the late ends of the fight, 9 through 12 range. 9, 10, 12, that type of range. So that's what we're going to be rocking with in the Dickens and Cacace fight. Maybe I'll have a boxing KO parlay, which will have Cacace KO. Who else? Who else did I say? Fundora KO. And, Opatai is going to happen today. I'd have to put that in now. I don't want to have a KO parlay that I included last week that already didn't hit because, no, maybe it'll just be Fundora, Cacace, and something on the UFC card. Maybe like a, who's KO prone? Who's KO prone? Maybe Asplin Petrino to ending KO. It's probably a decision, let's be honest. Yeah, I don't like a lot of these fights to ending KO. Maybe Balagioki and Manuel Sousa. I don't know. I got to think about it. Clubber parlay to come, probably including some boxing fights in it this week. All right. But yeah, that's my coverage and picks on James Dickens and Anthony Cacace. Don't forget to tune in to the rest of our programs this week, motherfuckers. All right. We don't only do it on Sunday. We do it on Monday. We do it on Tuesday. We do it on Wednesday. Okay. I'm not sure. Monday Matchmaker, 10 a.m. You already know. Right before Morning Combat. We matchmake for all the fights on the UFC card. It's going down. It's going down. Okay. Tuesday, TKO Tuesday. Don't miss TKO Tuesday. We got some Misfits KOs to go over. We got some RIZIN KOs to go over. We got some UFC 326 KOs to go over. TKO Tuesday. Don't miss it. Hump Day on Wednesday. We talk about the grapplers upcoming. Don't miss that either. Guys, we got a full slate. This channel covers combat sports in its totality. How are you missing out? How are you not sharing this with your friends? What are you, evil? Is this your fucking villain arc? Is this where it starts? Slighting me? Goddamn. Subscribe to the channel. We're trying to get to 800, yo. One more round fights, baby. One more round fights. Subscribe. All right. My computer's starting to shit the bed on me. Everything's going slow motion. What the fuck is this? That means it's time to end the stream. Don't forget to follow on social. That's where we will be putting out the parlays and all that other shit. Follow, make card minute, all that other shit. I'm getting out of here. Enjoy your fucking Sunday. Enjoy my glitchy ass stream. Fuck this shit. Dakota must be streaming or some shit. I don't know what's happening on the internet. I'm out of here. Peace.
life in these streets, licking smoke out the window. I'm on a trip. Maybe I'm a gunner, cause I live in a manana. Hot box like a sauna in a forest.